Welcome and congratulations on your new Timney trigger. My name is Alex.
And my name's Nate.
We're here to guide you through the AR-15 installation along with a couple of tech tips.
Without further ado, let's get into this.
Sounds good. In the process of installing the AR-15 trigger assembly in your AR, you want to double check, make sure that it is pointed in a safe direction, the chamber is empty, and this will be the process for any of our AR-15 trigger assemblies. No matter what model you have, it's going to be the same steps. Go ahead and remove your takedown pins. And set your upper receiver off to the side. To remove your grip, first put it on the fire position and cover the hammer so that way it doesn't smack the receiver. Go ahead and pull the trigger, keeping pressure on that hammer while you release it slowly forward. And then you can remove your grip using either an Allen key or a flathead screwdriver, depending on what screw you have inside your grip. Carefully remove it and watch for the detent spring and safety detent. These are going to be on the right hand side of the receiver. Once that is removed, be sure to keep that spring, don't lose it, and then your detent may or may not fall out depending on the orientation you have it. Go ahead and give it a light tap, should end up in your hand. To remove the factory trigger assembly, first you're going to want to punch out the front hammer pin with a punch and a hammer that you have available. You can get it started. You will have spring tension from the hammer spring, so hold your punch in there, ease that out. Go ahead and set that off to the side. You will not need that. And then with your trigger. With the Timney safety installed already, we'll have a T10 Torx bit to remove the side. Now your safety selector can be pulled through and the rest of the trigger can be removed. With the Timney trigger assembly, we have made a revision to the housing to include these nylon dowels. This will act as a nylock for your internal housing screws, so that way you do not need external locking screws to be inserted around the hammer leg spring. When installing the Timney trigger assembly into your lower receiver, you can drop that right in. Next, you want to add your trigger pins, your factory trigger pins, and line them up with the bushings in the housing. Next, factory safety. And then release the hammer forward while covering it to not smack the lower receiver. At this point, you can take a 5/64 Allen key and tighten down the two internal housing screws. This will raise the trigger body so that way it provides tension to both of your trigger pins. There should not be any movement in the trigger housing or those pins. They should not move freely. If your trigger pins fall out, you did not get those screws tight. You can push on each side and there should not be any movement. With your safety secure in place, the trigger housing installed, go ahead and put the detent for your safety selector pointed side into the receiver. The flat side should meet up with the spring on your grip. Take your grip, insert that on there with the spring installed. It can be pushed into place. With your grip in position, now you can go ahead and tighten down the grip screw. And function test the trigger assembly and safety. With your safety selector, it will not be engaged with the hammer up. Bring the hammer back down to a reset position and actuate the safety. And double check when you pull the trigger, safety does not move. Take it, put it to the fire position, and it will release the hammer. Now we can go ahead and install the upper receiver to the lower to do one final function check. Safety on, no movement, safety off, and it'll click. That's it.
We hope this has helped you in the installation process of your AR-15 trigger. If you have any remaining questions, our world-class customer service agents are more than happy to help. Just give us a call at 623-223-1111 or visit us at timneytriggers.com and click on that little yellow tab, Contact Us button on the bottom right-hand side.
If not, congratulations on installing your Timney trigger. You can now go out shooting with ease, knowing you've got the world's finest trigger in your hands.